Good morning. Today is Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. Oh, he potty.
Yeah.
I was like, what is sound? He does that. Morning, everybody.
Way too hot to drink.
The first sip, the first sip of coffee is like
Too hot.
always,
Always.
no matter what. Mm-hmm. Even if you let it sit for like 20 minutes, it's like still too hot. Holding the cup.
Too hot.
Agreed. that I can agree with. We had a good weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but like I felt like it was a good, fun weekend.
Mm-hmm. I talked about it last night, but I went for another 30-mile bike ride.
That hadn't even factored into the things I was thinking about, but that is also true.
Mm-hmm.
You did a long one.
Yep.
Yeah. That was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
You did
Friday.
Friday you did
the same thing.
Okay, so Friday you did a 30-mile, and then yesterday you did a 30-mile.
Uh-huh.
That's 60 miles. Amazing. Yeah, since last breakfast stream, we did finish Zelda.
Yeah, we beat a game.
We beat a game. I need to like put it back on the shelf. Actually.
Oh my god, can you do that?
Yeah. Isn't that's like... I took it out, right? Yeah, put it in here. This is like monumental.
Where does it go?
The Legend of Zelda... It goes after Skyward Sword, technically, alphabetically.
Wow.
It has sat on the coffee table since May 2023. We had only lived here for a month, right?
Yeah.
We'd only lived here for a month. Amazing. I remember getting up that morning, me and Haley went to Target, and we each got a coffee. And then later in the day, Dan and Josh were finally awake, and they wanted to get a coffee, so we went to Best Buy. Feels good to put that back on the shelf.
Oh, Steven.
That actually doesn't look as bad as you think it is, but I will...
Oh, he's following you.
You have to follow me? Come here.
Anyway. Yeah, Banjo is next. We will be playing Banjo this Friday. I'm excited to play Banjo. Did Haley ever beat it? I'm not sure if she did or not. Yeah, I guess Nightbot needs to be changed. Steven played Banjo? Steven has played Banjo. I have not. I played a little bit, I believe, at an Extra Life. I'm pretty sure I've seen someone play like the beginning of it too when I was younger. Have you played a kazoo? I'm sure I played a kazoo in music class at one point. Steven played Thomas's banjo at one point too. Fossick says, I will clean the commands up. Okay. Thank you. Whatever. Any early thoughts on Banjo? I know you collect things. That's all I know. I mean, I know the things you collect. There's like feathers and like puzzle pieces and stuff. And I know Gruntilda rhymes. And I know the first area. And that's like it. How are we playing it? I'm not sure how we're playing it. Will we be speaking only in rhymes? No, I'm not that good. Yeah, that's why I know the first area. Mr. Deathkill says you've done a painting of the first area, in fact. Yeah, I know that area. I'm just really hoping this coffee is cool enough that I can start to drink it. I believe Xbox. Josh told... Yeah, that sounds right. Barely too hot. Yeah, so that's Friday. What else is going on?
Sorry, he didn't need cleaned up. But he did need a drink. I mean, I cleaned him up.
Okay.
But...
He also got a drink.
He had been frantically trying to get a drink, even though I had already given him a drink.
Yes.
Like, he had finished getting a drink, and it was like, I put him on the floor, and then I went to go do something, and this was, like, before stream started. And then he jumped back up on the counter, like, drink? And I was like, no, I just did that. And then I went back to go into the bathroom, and he followed me in there and jumped back on the counter again. And I was like, you literally just had a drink. So then when I went in there, he wanted a drink, and I was like, I'll just give it to you. You can just have your second drink. Just double chug, bud. Go ahead and get your drink. So he's
so thirsty.
He's now sated.
For now.
For now.
In an hour.
Anyway, what'd I miss?
Nothing. We're playing Banjo on Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. It's.
I wasn't sure if that was the answer.
Yeah, we're playing it on Xbox. That's the thing I gotta do maybe today, is actually like pull the Xbox out of the cabinet and plug it up and make sure that everything is like working.
I need to do laundry.
JDO says 360 or Rare Replay. They are the same game. They are, as far as I'm aware, the same game. Like, Rare Replay is on Xbox One, but it's just running the 360. In fact, if you boot up Banjo-Kazooie in Rare Replay, it like shows the 360 logo. So it's the exact same thing. But to answer your question, it would be on Xbox One, not on Xbox 360. I don't actually own an HDMI Xbox 360, which is something I'll solve someday. But not yet. This is what gets you at a Series X. I mean, that would not be ideal.
For a limited time only, Tiny Eddie's Velvety Funky Primordial Hippo Bites.
One more time?
That was bits from Elvin Scout. Says, good morning and good vibes from New York. It's time for the not-so-occasional Tiny Eddie snack divination. So cast ye forth the fickle bones of fate unknowable, Sir Edward of diminutive stature, and tell my future, so far still 100% accurate. Velvety, funky, primordial, hippo bites. If you've got something that is both primordial and velvety, it's gone bad.
Well, I was thinking velvety and funky. It's very 70s. 60s, 70s.
I just want to see a hippo, like a drawing of a hippo, but it's in like disco garb.
Disco hippo.
Disco hippo. I love disco hippo. I've always said that. I've always made my
perfect song.
I love that it's Boo Boogie by Stuart Bogey. Anyway, Elvin Scout, thank you. Let me read some alerts, then we'll go back to talking about the weekend, because we did several things last weekend. 1600 bits from Gold Lining says, for calling Sidon mean last Tears of the Kingdom stream.
No.
I don't know. I think Sidon's pretty mean. He's a thief. Because he stole my heart. He's the fish, right? Like, that's... Sometimes when you're rhyming, you know, you get a word and you're like, ah, that one rhymes. Let's go with that. He's the main antagonist. He's the fish. Listen, I learned a lot about Zelda playing Tears of the Kingdom. I mean, I didn't actually learn a lot about Zelda. I learned a lot about that Zelda game. Learned a lot of different things. Alright, we have 58 months from Zelda Master, 30 months from Umami Meow, 41 from Sapphire 316, 44 from The Great Perhaps, 64 from Darkness Bride, 54 from Pumbology, 72 from Mike, 6 years from Mike Capella. Congrats on 6. 21 months from Aaron the Baron, 100 bits from Epic DXX, 9 months from Neither 307, 8 months from Taylor Grovehorn, 69 from Kiwili Scipio, nice. 46 from Tokunut, 25 from Supersonic Dog, 37 from Aristide57, 10 months from Bonald Buck, 51 months from Frorwolf, 35 from Casper Stone Nature. Luna Gazer gifted a sub to Chananzard674. We got 300 bits from Satsy, who says, we had a cleaner yesterday, woo! It was meant to be a deep clean, but it was more of a clean deeply. They left a hellish mess in the sink, again. Next door came through, and that's now cleaned and glorious. All is well. I'm just glad there's no more chicken. Because last time there was a chicken left in the sink, and there was unknown why. Like if I got my house cleaned and they were like, we cleaned the house, we left you a chicken, I'd be like, but why though? 55 months from RunT.exe, 30 months from Samba Noir, and 45 from Lamb144. Thank you all. Appreciate the support this morning. And it is wild to see folks hitting 6. That reminds me, I need to mention something. It's important.
Yeah.
Okay. Took care of that. So you rode your bike a lot this weekend. We finished Zelda. Austin was in town. That was fun. He had an overnight again, but this time it was for more than like a tiny amount of time. So we got to hang out with him. I really hope that at some point he has an overnight or something that aligns with Breakfast Stream. So I really do want him to be a guest on the show at some point. What happened Saturday?
I know what I did, but you weren't part of that.
Oh, I beat Golden Sun. The Lost Stage. I finally finished that. I have no idea what happened Saturday at all. I don't remember. And yesterday was the Apple event.
Yes.
That was the weekend. That was what happened this weekend. Shane asked, doing the DS one next. Thomas told me to do not. He was like, don't. I was like, oh. It did score much worse than the previous two. And I think I've probably had enough Golden Sun. I'm like, yeah. I did it.
What's next?
Advance Wars. But I started playing Advance Wars before I finished Lost Age. Because I didn't want to finish Lost Age until I had a free vlog day to dedicate to talking about Lost Age.
Okay.
So since I didn't have any of those, I started playing Advance Wars. And yesterday I finished Advance Wars because there's only 18 levels, so it wasn't that bad. I don't know what I'm going to do now. There's still stuff that you can play on that game. Like there's a war room with like 100 maps. So if I want to work on those, I can, or I'll move to Advance Wars 2 or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Something. 300 Bits from Satsuit says, I did have to redo my curtains last night. Have I mentioned I have been using paper? So I now have some lovely paper strips covering the worst once more. My back is killing me. I hope your back gets feeling better soon. Also, I love curtains in quotes. Paper curtains. I mean, you know, whatever's keeping out the light.
Yeah.
Whatever keeps out the light. 110 bits also from Fire Goddess. Thank you. Shane asked, did you play the remake or just the original on your phone? I just played the original on my phone. And the reason for that is I always have my phone. I don't always have my Switch. And I was like, if I play it on my phone, I can get through it. Mm-hmm. I would have played it on the Switch, I think, if there had been like additional content or something, then I might have, but there's not. It's basically the same game, so. I saw someone also asking about Banjo-Kazooie alerts. Chaz is working on them. I'm excited about Banjo on Friday and the alert stuff. I have some part in it. Chaz is doing like a large majority of all the work for that, but I'm doing a little bit of it. And I don't have any vlogs ready for today. But I did schedule, you know what I did schedule for 10?
What?
Last night's Dark Cloud.
Okay.
I managed to get that set, so that will be out at 10. So if anyone missed Dark Cloud last night, that's one of the fastest turnarounds I think I've had of one of your streams. It's very, very quick.
We got a lot of plot last night.
Yeah, you're 14 streams in, so you're like... Did you finish Chapter 5?
I did.
So you just have 6 and 7.
And 6 is short.
Chapter 6 is short, like Mother 3 Chapter 6 is short.
Not that short.
Oh. Is it longer than 2 minutes? Yeah. Cool. Well, that's good. You're further than I ever got. Because I
Didn't you only get to Rainbow Butterfly Wood?
I don't know where I got.
Treeland?
I remember trees. There was a train.
Yeah, there's a train throughout the whole thing.
Oh. I don't remember anything past that.
Chapter 3 is like canyon.
I don't remember that.
Chapter 4 is ocean. Okay.
I think I got Chapter 2. I didn't have the player's guide.
I know.
I was lost. I was like, I don't know.
Like says, last night was the very first Dark Cloud stream I watched, and I was very confused. You play as Max and Monica, and you travel through time, and there's fishing and golf, and you build things and take photos of things and invent things.
It's an early game by level 5.
You were switching characters like every second. I was probably playing as Max in the robot because the robot is strong, and after every enemy I switch back to Max so that Max gets the XP. That's probably what I was doing.
So the robot can get the XP?
Or Max. Because it's the blue stuff that falls on the ground.
Yeah, so you don't want the robot to get the experience?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Because normally, like, if you're Max and you defeat an enemy with, like, your right-hand weapon, the wrench or the hammer...
Yeah.
Then the XP goes to that weapon.
Yeah.
But if you kill it as the robot and you switch to Max, it goes evenly distributed to both of Max's weapons. And it was a hard floor, like a tough enemy floor. And sometimes the floors have requirements to get medals. And it was like, defeat all enemies using the robot, and then you get a medal. So I did that, but it doesn't say that the robot needs to get the XP.
I see.
And I wanted Max to get the XP.
Got it. I understand. Yeah. Well, cool. I'm glad that you're working through it, making progress. I know you said chapter 7 real long.
Yeah.
But you get there when you get there. Yeah, the only other thing I think happened like this weekend was, and it's not this weekend technically, but since the last breakfast stream was at the Apple event, and you didn't get a chance to see it because you were on your 30-mile bike ride.
Yeah, and you sent me a video to watch, but I didn't get that last night. Maybe today.
You didn't watch. You didn't get it.
Oh, I got the text from you that was like, "Watch this."
You got it. Did you get it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, you just didn't watch it.
I just didn't watch it.
It was 3 minutes long.
I know.
Like, not even 3 minutes. Anyway, yeah, I know, right? Left joint on red. I watched it with Dan and Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
So we always have a good time watching those and poking fun at some of the insane things that they say. That being said, the 16, like the base model 16, very good and decent upgrade. Like, very, very good. Like, anyone that has a phone that's a few years old and is like on the fence about getting a new phone, it's like, do I want a new phone? The 16 would actually be a very reasonable one to get, because there's like significant hardware updates and significant software updates that will only be accessible to the 16. So it's a pretty big deal. Because in Discord last night there was someone that was talking about like possibly getting a 15, and I was like, you shouldn't. Like, at this point you should pay the additional $100 and get the 16 if you're considering the 15, because there's so many differences. And it's usually not like that. Usually phones are not this I don't know what the word is, where something is, please help me.
I wasn't listening.
I know. I knew it. I was like, she's not even listening to me.
You're talking about the differences between the 15 and 16.
No, I was talking about what... When you have two things that aren't the same.
Different?
No, it's fine.
Should I look up the thesaurus words for different?
No. I can't think of the thing when it doesn't matter. It's too early. It's too early and you're not listening to me, and it's not, we're not going to be able to get there. Anyway, they're different.
Yeah, that's the word I said.
Like, fragmented is maybe a better word for it. Fragmented is good. We'll go with fragmented. There were 1,600 bits from Genesis that says, you heard it here first. If you're looking to buy a new phone, get a 16. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not here to convince anyone to use a thing that they have no interest in using, but I do want the folks that are potentially interested in updating their phone and would normally get an iPhone anyway, to know, if they're just a layperson, that the 16 is worth getting because of so many useful things. Like, they added a physical button to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max last year, which was a big deal. And then this year, they added another button. So if you buy a 16 or 16 Pro, like, you're getting two new buttons.
Out of context, that sounds ridiculous.
It's a big deal. Like, I don't know if other people get as excited about this as I do. Disparity is actually a really good word. I was thinking of a different word, but disparity is good. With a world we live in where people care about a button. Like, physical buttons, man, are a big deal.
Someone had mentioned, do we get a QWERTY keyboard in iPhone 20?
No.
I miss my little candy bar phone with the full keyboard.
I don't. At all.
That was my favorite phone.
Yeah, it's, there's... Vagabond says, can't you use the volume rocker to take a photo? You can. That's not an impossibility. But, so, how do I do this? So the volume buttons are here, right? And this is the lock button. So what they've done is they've added a capture button here. So your lenses will be at the top, as opposed to here, where your lenses are at the bottom. Does that part matter? No, but the button itself is more than just a push button. It's not a button like all the other buttons. It's a capacitive button, so you can half press it or full press it like a DSLR shutter button, and also it's touch sensitive, so you can scroll through options on the capture button. I don't know how useful that'll be in practice, but the fact that there's an additional physical button is always a thing that I want. Most people will use it as a shutter button. Yeah, it's intended to be a shutter button. The name of the button is camera control.
There's the boy again. Welcome back.
Like, you press it, if you press it, it launches the camera. So you can just get out your phone and press button. The reason I know that this is so useful already is because I immediately mapped the 15 Pro's action button to open my vlog recording software. Like, it had been Filmic, and lately it's been Blackmagic, and like that is so helpful. Like, I'm getting my phone out and I can press the button, and then I'm just launched into being able to record stuff. So, Tappet says, I know you're trying to sell us something, but come on. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I do not give two craps if anyone buys an iPhone. I just want people to know that the 16 is a good update. It's actually a good update. There are so many years where, like, model to model, nothing happens.
We ain't sponsored here.
Like, there's been so many WWDCs I've watched where I'm like, this is nothing. Nothing has occurred. But, like, it was actually good. And Tebet says, I wasn't talking about the phone, I was talking about the button. Buttons are so useful. Have you ever been in a car where it's like, we got rid of the buttons, now we have a screen?
We were just talking to Paul about
when Paul was like, he rented a car where the headlights had to be turned on with a touch screen because we live in hell. That's where technology wants us to go. So no, give me back physical buttons. Give me back physical buttons. I want physical buttons. And the thing is, that's one of the things I miss most about a camera. Because, like, cameras have physical buttons, and it can be very difficult when I'm trying to do stuff that I have to do it on the phone interface. The thing that I'm curious about, and we don't know yet, but I suspect, is that we'll get some level of control for the camera button. And I don't have that phone, and I won't for years, but I wonder if that will do things uniquely within a different app that you've launched. For example, so if you're in the Blackmagic camera app, if that can be mapped to do a function, because that's the thing that I would want. I would want it to do something specific. It's difficult because, like, when I talk about stuff like this, I understand that this does not apply to 99% of people. Like, most people do not care about these sorts of things. There's probably 3 of you that are like, yeah, okay, I totally, yeah, I get it. I'm glued in on, on this. But for me, I'm like, button good. Give me more buttons. I'm insane in Carolina. Renee, oh yeah, I totally checked out 5 minutes ago. Lunar says, I'm hyped for Button. Button good! Listen, I had to make a decision. Chaz talked me into it years ago of finally ditching a dedicated camera and using the phone. It has been a good experience overall, but I do miss physical buttons. Having any sort of physical button is good. That being said, am I getting a new phone? No, not at all. But Button good. All right, I now have to stop talking about this before people think I'm crazier than I actually am. 51 months from Salamis Dragoon. We got 300 bits from Belladonna Princesses. Been playing Subnautica, and I finally managed to get to the Aurora, and I was mentally panicking because I knew the scary big fish was there. It sounds familiar. That definitely sounds familiar. The game's very scary. It's a scary game. I'll be playing more of it tomorrow. And I'm excited about that. I honestly, I look forward to every Wednesday. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Wednesday, because it's a double good, because I'm doing Subnautica, and then afterwards, you're taking me on a date.
Yeah.
That's just like a whole day of fun. I'll be decompressing on the date from having been afraid. Mike says, when will we have confirmation if N64 will be at Extra Life? We are 2 months away now from Extra Life. It's November 9th.
Renee.
And
take him to the craft store to look at buttons.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
Extra Life N64.
You were listening to me. I need to check with Thomas.
Why?
He has an N64, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him to bring it. I mean, we need a backup N64 anyway. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Josh still has an N64, but I think Thomas does. If I check with Thomas and he has his, and I check with like Josh and he has what, so at least I have some, then I'll probably just say it's happening, because I can make it work. I'm assuming that I'll get mine back in time for Extra Life. I don't know why I wouldn't, unless the person repairing it like can't repair it. The GameCubes are back. I haven't tried them, but I've been assured that they work. So yeah. So let's just say we're doing it. Let's just say we're doing it. I have to get the Extra Life page like set up. Mm-hmm. But I will get there. Thinking about Extra Life right now is stressful because there's so many other things I'm thinking about and need to do. But I am excited for it. I'm always excited for it. Yeah.
There's a lot happening between now and then too, so.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's hard. I need to like set up the page, but I can't dedicate mental energy to that because there's other things going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, when will I put the mental energy into dealing with that? And I've got like 5 other things floating around the back of my head of like, you need to deal with these things. And I'm like, I know.
He's purring.
Yeah.
That's what Kepler's doing.
I'm so glad he's having a good time. I'm glad he's having a good time. We got 300 bits Maldo. It says, as someone who knows nothing about cameras, my brain has to buffer for about a second to remind myself that black magic isn't what I think it is whenever you say it. It's a camera company. Software company. I don't know what they're... something. Hardware company. Oh, I don't know if I ever mentioned this. And then I promise I'll shut up about this. The Blackmagic camera app did come to Android. So, something for our Android users. It's free. It's completely free on iOS and now Android. And it gives you full camera controls. And it's free. And I recommend it. That's it. That's my spiel. That's my spiel. Haley says cameras aren't real. Bet.
The Art Q has the photo you edited for me yesterday in it.
Oh, yeah, it does. I went on a bike ride.
Which we said already, but
And took this photo.
I was very nervous to take that photo because it's up high.
But you're caged in.
I was still very, very nervous to the point of when I was done, I couldn't clip in because I was too unsteady because I was too up high. I had to walk off the bridge and clip in and then bike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Are you,
When I bike over that bridge, which I did, which I don't do very often, but I did yesterday, I can't look.
yeah, I was...
No tightrope biking, then Chaz says, yep.
My question then for you is, when you... Do you have issues when we drive on bridges?
Sometimes.
Yeah?
Sometimes.
Did you have an issue with the Delaware Bridge?
I didn't love it.
I didn't love it either.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid of bridges, but that was a bridge where I was like...
The Polish Connection Bridge in Appleton, I never loved driving. The Highway 10 one that goes from Appleton over into Menasha.
I think I know which one that is.
Lake Butamore Bridge. Okay.
None of this helps me. I'd have to see a photo, but I think I know which one you're talking about.
I've been across Mackinac once. I suppose once and then twice.
Oh, Mike says I just watched that vlog. 17 miles. Is that how long that bridge was? Jeez, I knew it was long. I didn't realize it was that long. That's a long bridge. 17 miles is a long bridge. It occasionally goes under the water.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you're above it, sometimes you're below it, and it's really weird to be, like, just driving on a bridge and you're just surrounded by water in all directions and you're just like... Cool. Sensi says, is that really a bridge? I mean... I think by definition it still counts as a bridge. A bridge is just a road that carries you over water, right? So, like... Still a bridge. If the bridge turns into a tunnel, is it still a bridge? If a tree falls in the woods, does it make a sound?
Oh, sweetheart.
Yeah, it was. That's not the only wild bridge we've been over. The one that goes into New Orleans is very long.
Yeah.
But it's not anywhere near as long as that Delaware Bridge, I don't think. Yeah. Mike says, I don't think Stephen would do well in traffic in any of the tunnels in New York City. I think I'd be fine with that. I'm not too bothered by tunnels or bridges. And certainly they're not 17 miles long. Yeah.
Lincoln Tunnel kind of sucks. We went through that a few times when we were there.
Yeah. We will go back.
Yeah.
I do not know when. but we will go back at some point. We've only been once, and it was very cold.
It was December.
That's why it was very cold. It was also particularly nasty when we were there, because it was like,
It was really windy and snowy and
rainy too. Like
yeah.
it was kind of miserable. We'll come back when it's less miserable. We got 300 bits from Charlotte says, purpose of nothing, Aldi had frozen cotton candy grapes this past weekend, and I picked some up to try for the first time. I now understand the hashtag grape lust, pure sugar.
Apparently Costco has frozen grapes with a candy coating right now.
Really?
Yeah. And they're like dusted in sour powder, like citric acid. Anyway, we don't have dinner because we only had one salmon, remember?
I just hesitated. I was like, I'm going to put these on the list to try. And then I was like, do I want these?
I want to try them.
But hold on, just to clarify. They're frozen?
They're frozen.
Do I want these? What should I write so I know?
Frozen grapes. They're with the ice cream, Lunar says. I mean, I don't know if our Costco has them because I saw it.
Well, there was another thing that we wanted from Costco and our Costco didn't have it. What was it?
I mean, I've been waiting on the Poke Bowl and the shrimp tacos to come to the deli, and ours finally got them.
Special, what are they called? Oh, God. Pizza rolls.
Oh, yeah, there's a pizza roll that some Costco's have right now that apparently is good. That's not like the regular Tostino's brand.
Yeah, apparently they're very good, but we looked and we didn't have them, and we were like, oh. Not Special K. I still have some Special K. There's still some left. But I bought Honey Nut Cheerios last time I was there because they were on. I just buy whatever's on sale. I'm generally okay with things. What did you do?
Hit A.
Oh, I see. I'm generally okay with things. Like no matter what it is, so I just buy whatever is cheapest.
You like all things.
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cosmic says, I can't stand that they have the special things at Costco/Sam's because you have to commit to a large amount of the special thing. Yeah, I mean, it works better for certain things, right? Like if you're buying a dry good, obviously, or if you're buying something frozen. But if you're buying something fresh, that can be very difficult because you're like, okay, I need to eat a lot of this.
6 avocados.
Which is why right after breakfast, Stream Mao and I are each having avocado toast.
Yep.
We haven't bought avocados in like a year.
Yeah.
And finally bought some. And my thing with the avocados is that, yeah, they're cheaper at Costco, but you get 6. In my experience, they're not ripe for a long time. And then they're all ripe at once. And you're like, oh God, I have to eat 6 avocados immediately.
Yeah.
But the other day, I was feeling up my avocados, which is a normal human thing to do, and only one of them was ripe, and I was like, oh, and I got to eat an avocado, and it was perfect, and the other ones were
not quite ready yet.
Yeah, so they're ripening at different times, which is magical. I'm so excited. I'm very, very excited. We had 300 bits from Will Peters who says, what are thoughts on causeways then? Causeway.
See, when I think of causeway, I think of like the, what's the one, what's it called?
A causeway is a raised road that crosses a body of water or very low wet ground.
Look at image. Oh, those are fine.
You think those are fine?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I'd prefer a bridge to a causeway.
I went on an incredibly long drive on a causeway in Florida last time I was there.
Yeah.
And it was fine. You're only like, it's like 2 feet up.
It looks
Bridge
like
is so high.
it kind of looks like causeway. The definition of a causeway is just a little wiggly, because some of them are like it's ground. Mm-hmm. It's like the ground, like the dirt beneath your feet. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it looks like it can be like short bridge.
See, there's a bridge in Oshkosh on 41. That one's the Lake Butamore Bridge. That one's fine. That one's a causeway for most of it.
You want to know why
Polish
I don't?
Connection Bridge is the Little Lake Butamore Bridge, and I don't like that one.
You want to know why the idea of a causeway freaks me out? Flooding.
But it would have to be a real quick for it to be a thing.
What
This is the Little Lake
did
Butamore
you
Bridge
just say?
in Appleton. This one.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, look at this image. That's
yeah, that would be fine. The water has to come up so quick for it to flood. While you're on it. It'd have to be like a flash flood or like a dam burst.
I don't like it. When I'm on a bridge, I know where the water is.
Down.
Down. The water is down. The purpose of bridge is to keep water down. Causeway, I'm like, what if water is on road? What if a big splash? Right? That's concerning. Because I found an image of a causeway where like part of it is flooded, and I'm like, that's exactly the concern. Because like, it's just scarier looking to me, honestly. Like looking at like the long causeway, where it's just here, like this. That's scarier to me than a bridge.
I disagree completely. It's the height that bothers me.
I don't care about the height so much. I care about the water. Surprising no one that's watched any of the Subnautica streams.
Do you remember the vlog I filmed where we were driving around looking for gators when I was in Florida?
Coffee.
Did I film that? No, I didn't film that.
You drove around looking for gators.
So, in Florida, on Lake Apopka, which is like west of Orlando,
Okay.
you can go, and this is like all wetland, and you go and you drive on a causeway. It's the Lake Apopka Wildlife Drive, and it's a causeway like that, but like the gators just like chill, and you drive in your car and look at the gators.
And you didn't
And we
film
took
it.
my grandma.
You didn't film it.
There were not many gators. There were like 2 gators that day. My dad said he's been like another time, and there were a ton, and we're like, oh, we're gonna go show grandma gators. And then there were like none, and he's like the other time I came, he's like, this was just so many gators.
Yes, and said, and those 2 wouldn't sign a release form, so. Stephen, do people ride alligators in Florida the same way Australians ride kangaroos? I think it probably happens more often in Florida than Australia. That's my suspicion. I don't know how many kangaroos there are in Australia, but I feel that Florida has more gators.
Yeah.
Because they're just
Renee
like,
says, I have not ridden any swamp puppies.
they're just like on top of each other. I mean, it depends where you are in Florida, but the parts of Florida that I've been to, there's too many
Yeah.
Honestly. So many. Like, growing up in Myrtle Beach, like, we saw a lot of gators because they were just around, and especially if you lived on a golf course. But Florida, oh my God, there's so many there. I can imagine that more Floridians have ridden kangaroo. If there were kangaroos in Florida,
You know they would be riding them.
there would be Florida man captures kangaroo. Florida man flees bank after robbing it on kangaroo. God, I love Florida. We got 16 months from Totoro Kid 9977. 3 bits some Satsy says, the cats are scared of the house. I am mildly lonely, though it also means they're not being little gremlins. Also, you asked for a disco hippo? By the way, beans.
Would any of you eat alligator meat? It tastes like chicken.
I've had alligator on many occasions.
It's almost whack a alligator in the head day.
Yeah. Every October is Whack an Alligator in the Head Day, which is where you go eat an alligator. But if you don't eat an alligator for whatever reason, the alternative of that day is to... What is it? You have to go to a Target parking lot and something. I don't remember what it is.
What the alternative was?
I don't remember what... There's something about a Target parking lot, but everyone in Raleigh eats alligator, so we just went and ate alligator.
Every day in October? No, it's a specific
No, that's too
day.
much. That's too much. Mike says, is it a specific Target? Any Target. Go to a Target parking lot and ride an alligator. There was one time we were at Walmart.
In Wilmington.
It was in Wilmington, and there was a big gator. Big gator there. Because right next to the parking lot was a little... Pond is not the right word for that.
Runoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Ditch.
And there was like... That gator must have been like 10 feet long.
Oh, yeah. It was
and there
a
were
big
two
one.
There were 2 guys there, and they were just like, what are we going to do with this gator? And I was like, that is a big alligator. Whoo boy. A big fella. I did not ride it. The trick...
Is to not go near them. They are faster than you think.
They are very fast. They are very fast. People think they're slow because they don't move. But when they decide to move, them little legs, they scamper. It's true.
Yeah.
They are literal dinosaurs.
Do not pet that dog.
Can't pet that dog. Can't pet that dog. Tavitus says, someone from the middle of the country, I cannot understand this concept of alligators. The U.S. is so fascinating because it's so different.
I watched a video that was talking about European countries versus the United States, and they were taking European countries and how big they were and putting them on a map on top of the U.S. and trying to see how many they could fit in the U.S.
Yeah.
And there was a lot.
Yeah.
They were overlaying them to fill the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well, we also know that because anytime we talk to someone from the UK, they're like, it's a long drive.
Greece,
it's 2 hours, and I'm
Greece is the size of Alabama.
That's wild.
That was something they said when we were in Greece.
And which one of those do you think has more history? The answer is they both do.
Yeah.
Maybe not for all the right reasons. We got 16 months from Megawatt 06. 40 Bits of Shia says, there was a place my mom used to love called Bargain in a Box, lovingly nicknamed Crap in a Box, that sold Costco overflow stock for basically pennies. It was a sad day when it closed down a few years back. I love the idea of that. That's great. Costco's pretty careful about what they stock and how much they stock and how long they stock it for. But no matter what, company you have, there's always going to be stuff you're like, this didn't sell. Oops. Yeah. We have Ollie's. That's the closest thing we have to I don't know if they've sold Costco stuff or not, but
Fosdick says 200 kilometers is a long distance in Europe. 200 years is a long time in the U.S.
Yeah.
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 Like,
I've
my
heard that
bike ride
before.
was a 50K. So a fourth of that.
Yeah, you basically rode your bike across the whole country.
There's a bike ride I want to do that goes basically the length of Missouri. The west side to Kansas City isn't quite complete yet.
Chill Day says I can drive from the west coast to the east coast of this country in about 6 hours. Yeah, it takes longer than 6 hours to drive from the east coast to the west coast of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, I bet that's probably a 7 or 8 hour trip if you were to start at the water and try to get
To Tennessee, essentially.
Yeah, Boswick says west coast. Well, you know what I mean.
The west border.
The west border. Yeah. Tennessee. It's true. It's a long way. Mm-hmm. It's a long way. The scariest thing was when Josh would make the trip from Seattle to LA in one go. How long is that? It's an obscene amount of time.
It is an obscene amount of time.
Seattle. Los Angeles. Yeah, 17 hours. So it's bad. That's bad. Don't do that. Oh, I have avoid tolls on. There's a part of me that's like, oh, he doesn't do that anymore. But like,
yeah, there's a
did-
drive he's talking about doing soon that was like, Josh.
Well, he also still like, he drives up to like Philly, or he'll drive back from Philly, or he'll drive that. And like that's much more palatable than 17 hours, but that's still a lot. The longest I've ever driven at one time there was one time where we went from Myrtle Beach up to Muncie.
Yeah.
In one
That was a long day.
And with stops it was 13 hours. And like I remember I got there and I was like I don't want to be in the car anymore.
No, that was too long.
Yeah. 13 hours, that's a long way in a car. Could I do it? I mean, I could, but would I want to? No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't want to. It's probably safer to just get a hotel. Or even just, like, sleep in the parking lot of a Walmart. Just get a snooze in. Do a snooze. We had 44 months from Pickletron, and also 300 Bits and Belladonna Princess says, I am also having the opposite problem you are with the titanium. Wait, what are we talking about? What titanium?
Is there titanium in Subnautica?
Oh, yes. Yes, because Belladonna Princess was talking about Subnautica earlier. Yeah, I've heard that. Whenever I was playing Subnautica, everyone's like, oh, you'll run out. And like, I haven't, but I also spent a fair bit of time getting scrap, which is why I have so much. But apparently most people run out. Sorry, titanium is also relevant to the iPhone discussion because they're like,
Looping it back around.
We did it with the titanium. And I'm like, okay. So like, it's stronger. And I'm like, okay. The phones are like physically bigger and also heavier.
Is the battery better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, considerably actually.
I can deal with a heavier one if the battery is bigger.
Vagabond says, still gonna put a case on it. Can we run a poll before the end of stream? Can we run a poll? This is very important to me. It's very important to me. It's very important to Chaz. Can we run a poll that says, I don't know how to, someone word this better than I am, but
Worded exactly as he is.
Do you use a case with your phone? Do you use a case with your phone? Not talking about screen protector. That's irrelevant to me. Just a case. Do you have your phone in some sort of case? It can be a full-on OtterBox. It can be a silicon whatever. Run that poll, because I just want to know. I just want to know what this percentage is, because I've got people. I've always used a case. I've got some people in my life who.
A poll has begun. Someone word this better than I am. Use a case on your phone.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, I just want to know. I've got more than one person in my life that is like, you don't need a case. We already know where Chaz stands. 300 bits for Chill Days says, speaking of country sizes, the narrowest point of Norway is a whopping 3.6 miles wide. I live in a strangely shaped country. I think it's neat to have, like, I don't know how it would be to actually, like, live in a different country where the country is small, but you have access to other countries. But that seems neat.
Yeah.
That seems like it would be fun. The U.S. is kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how international people feel about the U.S. Like, I would assume that they understand that it's not just like the U.S. It's like it's real
like 50
different.
Small countries.
It is, and it's and even if you're not thinking of it as 50 small countries, like it's pretty. There's pretty big differences in some of the things. Like politically, sure, but even like regionally, it's very.
And it's not just like the landscape; it's also like food and
like there's so much
accent.
There's so much culture spread out.
Like, I'm from Wisconsin, but like living down here now, when I go visit, it's like, oh, this feels like a different world.
Yes.
Like just what is stocked in the grocery
The poll
store.
has ended. You don't need a case. It's perfectly fine. Enjoy your case-free life.
%. Yes.
I started to hear that. I was like, I don't remember one of the options being.
You don't need a case.
You don't need a case. Enjoy your case-free life. 92% of you said yes, I use a case on my phone.
Only 15 people said no.
Yeah, 92% versus 8%. Only 15 people here do not use a case. So by and large, people are using cases. Renee says, you 15 people are brave. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that, like, the phones are getting better. They're making them with, like, either better materials or, like, they have special processes with the glass where it is less likely to crack. But even... Chess says, I've dropped my phone hundreds of times in the 4 years I've had it, and it's perfectly fine. Sorry,
all
hold
15
on.
of those people are Chaz Fossick's. All of those are Chaz's old.
I want to go back just a sec. Chaz, you've dropped it hundreds of times in 4 years? Because, like, I don't... Chaz says I'm clumsy.
Yeah, he does maintain that he's clumsy.
Okay, I don't... And now that I've said this, I'm going to break my phone today. I don't drop my phone. I know that I've just signed a deal with death, and I'm going to throw it down the stairs.
I do maybe once a month.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not saying I've never dropped my phone, but, like, I've owned this phone for almost a year on the dot.
Chess says, then it definitely doesn't need a case. But it has a grip. It's silicone.
I feel like that's... Okay, here's the thing.
it's silicone. I can hold it almost vertically.
That's one of the reasons why I want to use a case,
Yeah.
is because I think that the phones are so doggone slick
Yeah.
if they don't have a case on them. And like I'm like filming stuff. I'm like, I'm holding
so
on for dear
slippery.
life. Yeah. When we were with Austin the other day, I was filming a clip and I was standing above a grate, and I was like, it's like, do not drop this into the grate. That would be bad. Anyway, we've got 1,600 bits from Tech Absol.
16.
It says, but Steven, if you do break your phone today, it's the perfect excuse for you to get the 16. I don't want to get. Here's the problem.
It costs money.
That's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is the things cost money. If you can, the longer you can wait, the better. Like if someone is like, I'm thinking about getting a phone. Like if you can hold out, always hold out, because that just that's good. You save money every year you wait. But if you're like, okay, I think I'm gonna get a phone. Like, yeah, the 16 is actually very good. I was talking to someone recently who had said that they didn't currently have their phone was paid off. They said their phone was paid off, so they said, so I can just get another one. And I was like, but do you need a phone? And they're like, well, I'm not paying for a phone right now. And I was like, okay, but you're missing the point. If you get a phone, it will cost money, so you could just wait. And they're like, but they said it's only $30 a month. And I was like, that's a lot of money? Like, if you spend $30 a month? And Berlar says, people do that with cars too. It drives me insane. I don't have a car payment right now, so what if I did? I was like, well, I don't know, man. I'm also the person that goes to the Costco and it's like, which cereal's the cheapest? So take what I say with a grain of salt, maybe. But that's how my mind works. 300 Bits of Miami Florence says, I have a very physical job and I need a very strong case to protect my phone from certain environmental factors. Oh yeah, there's the people that have like, some people need like the special case, which I guess is just an OtterBox. I will tell you, my dad, who, drops phones, right? My dad has historically dropped phones. We used to have him using an OtterBox on his old phone, and when I gave him my 12 Pro Max, we just left it in its normal case.
Yeah.
Instead of giving him a full-on OtterBox. And it's been fine. I'm not trying to like give a lot of credence to Chaz's argument of like, phones don't need cases. But the phones are getting better. Yeah. I don't think they're ever going to made of like, they're never going to be made of, I don't know, diamond or something. It just says you're doing it though. I remember when I was using his phone, like in the OtterBox, and again, I'm trying not to give credit to Chaz. I didn't love the experience of it because it's like, it feels like you're working with something inside a cryogenic tube. Like it's in the whole thing. And he kind of expressed the same thing after moving to the new phone and having just the sleeve on the outside. He was like, oh, yeah, this is nice. And I was like, yeah.
Vagabond, let me check something quick.
Oh, is there like a Redbubble sale?
I believe so, or it just ended. I don't know.
Yeah, it's nice to know that 92% of you need phone cases, which is a great reason to go to malmerch.com. Get yourself a phone case with a image that Mal has painted on it.
When does this end? They make it hard.
Chaz says, buy a phone case and put it on your shelf. I did do that.
Oh yeah, we do. We have one.
Are you thinking the same thing I am?
I think so.
A million years ago, during the time of the Vagabond, is it Earthbound? Let me finish my story. A million years ago, during the time of the iPhone 5, Hobonichi did release a Mother 2 phone case. And yes, it's a Mother. We have a Mother 2 phone case that we never opened.
Redbubble is doing pre-orders for free shipping with iPhone 16 cases.
Oh, that's cool. Well, if you ordered a iPhone 16 and you're looking for a case, apparently you can get free shipping from Redbubble if you get an iPhone 16 case. Neat. All right. We went long. We had so many things to argue about. Sure. We also had 23 months from Onyx Avenger. Thank you. He tired. Okay, like I said, I don't have a vlog out, but I did schedule the Dark Cloud VOD, so if you missed the Dark Cloud VOD and you're like, I want to watch that, it's out, so you can watch that. Otherwise, I'll have vlogs out as I'm able. I'm like a week behind. It's fine. Last week was very busy. Chaz, I'm glad that it's working for you. I'm glad it's working for you. That's the important thing. You and the other 14 people that are like, I don't need a case. I'm happy. I'm happy, and I hope everyone's phones last forever and never falls out of their hands. All right. That's it. No other streams for today, so
Nope.
Join me tomorrow at 1 p.m. for the continuation of Subnautica. You can just jump in on Subnautica. It's just me exploring the water and being afraid. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I got the vehicle modification station, so I've got a lot of upgrades to make to the sea moth and the prawn. So I'm really excited about that. I'm not excited about the time it's going to take to do those upgrades, but I'm excited about having them. Yeah. All right. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for Subnautica.